All right, guys, I got a proclamation I'm going to run through real quick. Mr. Ira, you want to come over here so we can make fun of you? All right. Kenner reads a lot more like this. This is a proclamation recognizing the dedication and service of Ira L. Snyder. Whereas Kiwanis is a global organization dedicated to improving the lives of young people and the community. And whereas Ira L. Snyder has been a member and officer of the Kiwanis Club of Kenner North for 3 decades and has always answered the call for service. Whereas Ira is a tremendous booster of Kenner, and his countless achievements have made an invaluable impact on the Kenner community. Whereas Ira has spearheaded and or been involved in dozens of projects that contribute to the improvement of Kenner's overall quality of life. From teaching elementary school students to read, to supplying food for the needy students throughout the school year, Ira's dedication is tireless. And whereas in 2010, with the help of other Kiwanians, Ira formed a public charity nonprofit organization raising substantial funds to present scholarships to worthy high school seniors. Whereas he was a driving force behind the beloved Parkaboo, an annual Halloween event providing fun and entertainment for more than 8,000 guests who attend. Whereas Ira has served with the American Cancer Society by providing monthly prepared meals and entertainment to guests of Hope Lodge, a home away from home for people facing cancer and their caregivers when cancer treatments is far away. Whereas Mr. Snyder has been a familiar face at the Chateau Living Center, where he prepared and served dinners to residents on a monthly basis and was instrumental in planning the annual Christmas party. Sound like you do a lot of stuff, huh? Whereas Ira has worked with the Kiwanis-affiliated youth organizations, including project participation and attendance at countless events and activities for key clubs and builders clubs. Now, therefore, I, Kenner Mayor Michael J. Glazer, along with the members of the Kenner City Council and Chief of Police Keith Conley, do hereby recognize and express deep gratitude to Mr. Ira L. Snyder, a remarkable individual dedicated to the betterment of everything and everyone around him. His legacy will always be honored and cherished by his fellow Kiwanians, peers, friends, and family. Given under my hand and seal of the City of Kenner, this 25th day of April, 2025. Congratulations and thank you for what you did. Thank you. Right. Would you like to say anything?
Pardon me?
You want to say anything?
Well, this is a great opportunity. This is a recruitment effort. So as you leave, you'll be getting an application for membership in the Kenner North Kiwanis. We need people who are willing to work, and it can be a lot of fun. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Watch your step.
thought it was on. I'd like to call the meeting for April 25th to order. Do we have any special intentions? Councilman Wilmot.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to mention that E.L. Bubba Henry, he was a former Louisiana House Speaker. He passed away recently. He was known to oversee the House during the Constitutional Convention of 1974 when the state constitution was revamped. Please keep him and his family in your prayers. Thank you.
Anyone else? Madam Clerk? Oh, just prayer. Councilwoman D. Dunn, please lead us from prayer. Everyone, please rise.
Thank you. Let us bow our heads. Dear God and our Father, as we come to you once again this hour in the morning, Lord, we just want to tell you thank you for all the blessings that you have bestowed upon us. Dear God, I pray for the mayor, for the police chief, for the department, for the administration, for this council, and all that make up the city of Kenner. God, you have been good to us. You allowed the storms to go over, and then you've kept us safe. But dear Master, we pray this morning that you would give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that the things that we will do, not to please us, but to please you, and that this whole city will be blessed. I pray for the fire chief in that department also, dear God. And Father, I thank you today for everything that you've already done and for the things that you will continue to do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Councilman Brandon, would you please lead us to the pledge?
Please place your hand over your hearts. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir. You have a quorum. In accordance with Council Resolution Number B14550, please be advised that all cellular telephones and other devices of this nature must be deactivated or silenced throughout the council meeting. Next, we have correspondence, reports from the mayor, CAO, and department heads.
Mr. Mayor?
Thank you. Just a couple of announcements about some events coming up in the city. Starting next Friday is our annual Music in the Park, May 2nd from 6:30 to 9:30, always free. Bring your lawn chairs. Contraflow will start it off. Following next week, Wayne James and Partners, Category 6, May 16th, the Fabulous Von Zippers, the 23rd, and Rock Show NOLA, the 30th. And on Saturday, May 3rd, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., there's a premiere event in our planetarium, free admission. It is Always Above, story about the new Space Force. Free admission to that also. Saturdays in May is at 8 p.m., Movies in the Park, also free. May 3rd will be Transformers 1, and followed by 4 other ones every Saturday night in the month of May. Also Thursday, May 8th, the city has an auction. It's an online auction only. You can go to, the website is proxybid, proxibid.com/servcorp, SERVCORP. So it's at 10 a.m. You got to register before, and you'll see some of the city surplus and police department surplus that will be auctioned off. And the last thing is, because we're going to start promoting it, Friday, May 23rd, after the council meeting, probably around 1 p.m. is what we have it scheduled for, is the Splash Park will open down here on Reverend Richard Wilson Drive, and I do believe Councilwoman Dunn is going to be the first one in her bathing suit to run through to the Splash Park. So everybody come see. That's it. Have a good weekend, guys.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir. Under resolutions, motions, and other items from the floor, I have a motion by Councilmember Lahat, seconded by Councilmember Brannigan, to amend the agenda to include item 13D, a resolution in support of House Bill 196 of the 2025 regular session of the Louisiana Legislature, authorizing the commercial lease of a portion of Kenner Lake Town to the Kenner Lake Town Area Development Corporation for the operation of an amphitheater. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to object to us amending the agenda? Please come forward. Seeing none, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0 to amend the agenda. Under the consent agenda, we have item 1, approval of minutes, the regular council meeting of April 10, 2025. Item 2 is approval of alcoholic beverage permit applications. We have none. Item 3 is approval of bingo and public gathering applications. Item 3A is application number 2453-25, the City of Kenner District 1 to hold a public gathering on July 26, 2025 from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. for the purpose of a third annual back-to-school jam school supply giveaway at Susan Park Gym, 502 Veterans Boulevard. That will conclude the consent agenda. I have a motion by Councilmember Wilmot, seconded by Councilmember Sharwood. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Under the public appearance agenda, we have item 8, public hearings and final passage. We have none. Item 9 is ordinances for the sale, purchase, transfer, lease, and/or alienation of a movable property. Item 9A is a public hearing regarding summary ordinance number 13,777. An ordinance approving a cooperative endeavor agreement with Friends of Rivertown for the long-term use of Parcel E of the Loyola Track University City Subdivision, City of Kenner property being owned by the City of Kenner. I have a motion by Councilmember Brennan, seconded by Councilmember McKinney, to open your public hearing. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. We're now in a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to address the council on this subject? Please come forward and state your name and address for the record.
Madam Clerk, may I ask a question, please?
Sure.
For point of clarification, I think you said Friends of Rivertown?
Oh, I'm sorry. Friends of
Okay.
Discovery. Sorry, thank you.
You're welcome.
Friends of Discovery. Have it. Yes, ma'am. State your name and address for the record, please.
Sure. Hello, I'm Sharon Preen, 3837 Loyola Drive. Good afternoon, esteemed members of City Council. I'm Sharon Preen, Chief Administrative Officer of Discovery Schools. I'm here representing our leaders, teachers, students, and families. As both a proud resident and a school leader who lives, works, and plays in Kenner, I'm deeply invested in our community's growth and prosperity. It's a privilege to serve a community that cares deeply about its children and their future. It's an honor to stand before you today on behalf of Discovery Schools and express our heartfelt gratitude for the generous land donation, a gift that will benefit not only our school, but the entire Kenner community for generations to come. First, I would like to thank Mayor Glazer, Natalie Newton, and the mayor's leadership team for their support and commitment to this initiative. The land represents possibility, progress, and partnership. The gift will enhance future student opportunities and Kenner Discovery Health Sciences Academy. Kenner Discovery is proud to be an A-rated school, committed to academic excellence and the success of every student. We take great pride in our beautiful school facility and the stunning artwork that lines the street as you approach our school. We pledge to be exceptional stewards of this land. We will maintain the property with the utmost care and dedication, making the city proud of its donation. We are committed to honoring this gift and with thoughtful care and purposeful use. This land will be a space where opportunities grow and where the impact of your generosity will be felt for years to come. Thank you again, Mayor Glazer, Natalie Newton, and the Kenner City Council for believing in our future. Together with our partnership, we're shaping a stronger and even more vibrant Kenner for all. Thank you so much.
Mayor
Thank you, Ms. Karen.
Mayor Glazer would like to speak.
Yes, for those that don't know, this piece of property is a small, kind of triangle-shaped piece of property in between the retirement home and Kenner Discovery School on Loyola. It's an undeveloped piece of property owned by the city that we can't really do anything with. It only would benefit the school to give them a little more land on their south side of the campus. And as you know, this is done all the time because most of our recreation parks in the city of Kenner are a CEA, with Jefferson Parish Public School Board owned property. So it's something that's done all the time, and they'll clear it, maintain it, and hopefully they'll have more activity area that's where they can play football, baseball, and all that kind of stuff. So with that said, that's it.
Thank you, sir.
I have a motion by Councilmember Brennan, seconded by
But did-
Council...
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted legal, if you will, if you can chime in on this. This is a donation, from what I understand, of real property. So if you can let us know how we stand with that as far as the city's concerned.
It's actually not a donation, it's a 99-year lease, so it's a cooperative endeavor agreement, basically. So
Okay.
at the end of the 99-year term, the property would revert back to the city, and any improvements would become Kenner's again. So
I heard the word donation. That's the reason why
Yeah,
I wanted
yeah.
clarification.
it's a
Okay.
cooperative endeavor agreement that allows 99 years' worth of use.
Okay, so we maintain ownership.
We will at the end of the 99-year term, yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
99 years, we vote on this again.
I'll let you second it, okay? Madam Clerk?
I have a motion by Councilmember Brennan, seconded by Councilmember McKinney to close your public hearing. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. I have a motion by Councilmember Brennan, seconded by Councilmember McKinney for approval. Seeing no further discussion, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 10 is opening of bids. We have none. Item 11 is reclassification of zoning for final passage. We have none. Item 12 is other ordinances for final passage. Item 12A is summary ordinance number 13,785, an ordinance authorizing the City of Kenner to hold a public auction on May 8, 2025 to sell surplus movable property no longer needed for public purpose and setting the terms and disposition of the proceeds from the sale. I have a motion by Councilmember Sharwood, seconded by Councilmember Brannigan. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 12B is summary ordinance number 13,786, an ordinance amending ordinance 11,622 to correct the name of the subdivision. I have a motion by Councilmember Dunn, seconded by Councilmember Sharwood. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 13 is resolutions and motions by council members. Item 13A is a resolution calling a public hearing on May 23, 2025 to determine whether the structures located at 3704 California Avenue, Kenner, Louisiana, shall be abated by repair, rehabilitation, demolition, or removal. I have a motion by Councilmember Lahat, seconded by Councilmember Brannigan. All council members in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 13B is a resolution appointing Mr. Chad Held to the Municipal Fire and Police Civil Service Board of the City of Kenner, whose current term expired July 30, 2024, for an additional term of 3 years. I have a motion by Councilmember Wilmot, seconded by Councilmember Lahat. All council members in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 13C is a resolution appointing Mr. Colin Hullen to the Municipal Fire and Police Civil Service Board of the City of Kenner, whose current term expired on July 30, 2024, for an additional term of 3 years. I have a motion by Councilmember Brennan, seconded by Councilmember Wilmot. Mayor Glazer?
As you can see on 13B, 13C, term expired July 30th of 2024. I had questions, so someone else I'm sure is going to have a question. These are two nominations from University of New Orleans, and the board secretary, due to some staffing issues at UNO, they finally got around to following up their appointments, and now that's why it's almost a year after their term expired, but they remain in office until they removed. So the backup documentation that should be attached to this legislation. Just wanted to get out why it's July 30th, 2024. And it's just being addressed today.
Seeing no further discussion, all council members in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 13D is a resolution in support of House Bill 196 of the 2025 regular session of the Louisiana Legislature, also authorizing the commercial lease of a portion of Kenner Laketown to the Kenner Laketown Area Development Corporation for the operation of an amphitheater. I have a motion by Councilmember Lahat, seconded by Councilmember Brannigan. Councilmember Lahat?
Thanks, Madam Hall. This, if you saw in the Fox 8 report today, we wanted to, not just the city council as a whole, but the administration, the police chief, the fire chief, and really all the workers of Kenner to really recognize how great of a project we have coming in Lake Town. The contingent, I want to say some names here, the people that have been working on this. You know, Arita Bohannon's office in Jefferson Parish District 4 started this almost less than a year ago to seek the money and seek the lease of the area in Lake Town from the state to actually be able to build this amphitheater that's going to have 8,000, 9,000 seats, and it's going to allow some mini acts throughout the city, almost 20 musical acts a year once it's constructed. The steps we've had to go through, that Arita's had to go through, that Mayor Glazer and the administration have had to go through, along with our representatives Debbie Villio and Joe Stagney at the state legislative level, a lot of steps, a lot of things had to be done. One of the main issues we had was we needed to actually lease the area of Lake Town from the state to make this commercial development happen. And that happened. We actually, this House Bill 196 of the 2025 regular session happened this past week, and it got approved. And the Jefferson Parish Council just recognized this, and on our behalf, we want to thank the Jefferson Parish contingent, Arita Bohannon and her office. I want to thank the mayor. Mayor Glazer has been up there in Baton Rouge with Arita, with Joe Stadney, with Debbie Villio, and all the people that are making this happen. So on behalf of the council and really the city, we support House Bill 196 of the 2025 regular session of the commercial lease. I really hope it, Rita's goal is to have that Christmas concert next in 2026, but the money's there, and they're gonna start bidding out this thing to get developed. So this is a real project. People have said things over the years, what's happening in Lake Town, a lot of different things have been floated, but this is happening, folks. This is something that procedural steps have been done. We have an incredible team of people in our city, our administration, the council, and of course the parish of Jefferson and our state contingent. So I want to thank them, and I'm sure many of my members and colleagues up here want to say something as well, but we absolutely support House Bill 196, and I look forward to many great concerts in the city of Kenner and Lake Town in my district. Thank you.
Mayor Glazer?
Yes. Well, just to kind of clarify a little bit, I testified Wednesday in the House Committee on Natural Resources. It passed the committee unanimously with not one question. I think it's due to go to the House floor the end of next week. This resolution in support of it is just going to be attached to the House bill, just showing that local government is on board with this program. We don't see any issues in getting out of the House or Senate. So, and Monday, we have a meeting Monday morning with the people that are hauling the dirt, spreading the dirt, and the consultant engineer that's designing and overseeing that project. And the pile of dirt is going to probably remain out there. It's going to be 22 feet in the air for probably 9 months while they monitor the settlement until it gets to an acceptable settlement, and that's when the construction will start. And hopefully, like Councilman said, we have a structure there the end of next year where we can actually use it.
Councilman Brannigan?
Yeah, and the only thing I want to add is that this is another piece of the puzzle in Lake Town to get it kick-started for the redevelopment of the north side of Kenner, which we need, obviously. It should draw businesses to the area, and that produces sales tax, which we survive on. So it is a big deal, and I appreciate everything that everyone has done and got to get to this point, and basically it's going to happen. Thank you.
Councilman Wilmot?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think everything pretty much has already been said and very well laid out, but I would like to add just a couple of things. As far as procedurally, this has gone through committee already, as the mayor said. It was on the 23rd, which was Wednesday, and it was reported favorably out 11-0. It's Natural Resources is the House committee. Then it goes to the House floor, and it probably will be there in a couple of weeks or so. Then after that, then it goes to the Senate committee. their comparable side of natural resources to the house. It's heard there at that time, and even on the House floor, they can use a resolution from us, from the City of Kenner, showing that we're in full support of this, and it will have a positive impact, I'm sure. We hope that it maintains its current path as unanimous, and anyway, this resolution will support that, so thank you.
Just as a point of clarification, we've added all council members to the submitted by, plus the mayor and the police chief, just so everybody knows. Okay. Seeing no further discussion, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 14 is items removed from the consent agenda. We have none. Item 15 is acceptance of contracts and similar matters approved by the mayor. Item 15A is summary ordinance number 13,748, an ordinance approving the use of a state contract for the purchase of bleachers at Bertolino Stadium. I have a request as per Councilman Brannigan for a one-meeting deferral. Councilman Brannigan?
Yes, we've been deferring this legislation for the last probably 6 weeks, and I just want to let everyone know it's going to work out. The problem we had was the contractor, state contract got messed up, and we have to get the state contract straightened out before this body can vote on this legislation. So I'm hoping that by May 1st, is what I've been told, the state contract should be fixed, and we'll be voting to pass this on May the 8th at the council meeting. Thank you.
All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0 for a one-meeting deferral. Item 15B is summary ordinance number 13,787, an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Grimco Incorporated to furnish and install one Graph Tech FC 9000-140 plotter or equal for traffic division in accordance with electronic bid 25-2159 and an amount not to exceed $7,526.14 for the General Services Department. I have a motion by Councilmember Brennan, seconded by Councilmember Brannigan. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15C is summary ordinance number 13,788, an ordinance authorizing the utilization of Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office contract number 25-MAR-1201 with Vision Uniforms Incorporated to purchase uniforms on an as-needed basis in an amount not to exceed $50,000 for the life of the agreement for the Kenner Police Department. I have a motion by Councilmember McKinney, seconded by Councilmember Wilmot. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15D is summary ordinance number 13,789, an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Parton Roofing LLC to replace the roofs of the Kenner Police Headquarters and Jail Facility in accordance with seal bid number 25-6868 and an amount not to exceed $454,400 for the Kenner Police Department. I have a motion by Councilmember Brannigan, seconded by Councilmember McKinney. Councilman Wilmot?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Considering the amount of the money that we're looking at, $454,000, and it's not to exceed, I understand, but I believe this building is fairly new, but at the same time, it was damaged by one of the hurricanes. Is that correct, Chief?
It is correct. And it's a total of 5 roofs at the complex. It's just not the headquarters building and the jail facility. It's a total of 5 roofs.
And those were all damaged as a result of that hurricane that we
Correct.
had some years back?
Correct. And we've been working a lot with Mr. Jose and Ms. Liz to try to move this forward for a while. And I believe Liz could probably give you a little bit of update on where we stand with the jail facility and the headquarters.
So all of them are being replaced with this?
Correct.
Okay, okay. And if you will, Ms. Herring, just
Sure.
chime in on the financing.
Yep, so this is for police headquarters, and the next one will be for the training center that's right here. So both of those facilities experienced damage during Hurricane Ida that caused significant damage to the roofs, also the interiors of the buildings, but you know, we can't fix the interior until we get the roofs replaced. So we're at the point now where we can bid these out and move forward with the project. So that's where we're at. There were 5 responsive bidders for this, and this is the lowest responsive bid.
Okay, you mentioned that it also contains the training facility. The 454,000, that's just for the one
The
in
headquarters,
veterans.
yeah. It's just the
headquarters.
next item on the agenda is for the
Right.
training facility.
Okay, so you're just covering both. Okay,
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure and it's clear. And, okay, we understand. Thank you.
Seeing no further comments, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15E, summary ordinance number 13,790, an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Roofing Solutions LLC to replace the roof of the Kenner Police Training Facility in accordance with seal bid number 25-6867, and an amount not to exceed $155,000 for the Kenner Police Department. I have a motion by Councilmember Dunn, seconded by Councilmember Brennan. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15F is summary ordinance number 13,791. An ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Bow Brothers Construction Company, LLC, to provide asphalt, street maintenance, and small jobs in accordance with seal bid number 25-6871, and an amount not to exceed $3 million annually for the Public Works Department. I have a motion by Councilmember Sharwood, seconded by Councilmember Wilmot. Councilman Wilmot?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Just point of clarification, this is $3 million annually, not to exceed amount. If we can't get an explanation on that, and also what it was last year.
Yes. It's a 2-year contract for maintenance-related work on an as-needed basis, and the $3 million cap is annual, yes.
What was it last year? Do you?
The last year was $3 million.
It was $3 million,
annually.
so there's no change.
Yeah, and we have only spent like $1.8 million under the current contract with Bow Brothers as well. So Bow Brothers was the low bid again for this 2-year contract.
Thank you for that clarification. Thank you. That's all.
Councilman Brannigan? No, go. Okay, you're welcome. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15G is summary ordinance number 13,792, an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Coburn Supply to provide sewer clamps, couplings, PVC, etc., on an as-needed basis in accordance with seal bid number 24-6857, and an amount not to exceed $100,000 for the Department of Wastewater. I have a motion by Councilmember Lahat, seconded by Councilmember Sharwood. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15H is summary ordinance number 13,793. An ordinance ratifying an emergency repair of the Fairbanks Morse turbine pump of the effluent dock at the wastewater treatment plant by Fluid Process and Pumps LLC in an amount of $33,900 for the wastewater department. I have a motion by Councilmember Dunn, seconded by Councilmember McKinney. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15I is summary ordinance number 13,794. An ordinance ratifying an emergency replacement of the Hydromatic HMPC pump number 1 at the boat launch lift station by Fluid Process and Pumps LLC in the amount of $9,112 for the wastewater department. Have a motion by Councilmember Lahat, seconded by Councilmember Wilmot. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15J is summary ordinance number 13,795. An ordinance accepting the quote received from Innovative Flow Solutions to install one Rotorque actuator for the wastewater treatment plant dumping pit in the amount of $9,450 for the wastewater department. I have a motion by Councilmember Dunn, seconded by Councilmember Sharwood. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15K is summary ordinance number 13,796, an ordinance authorizing an agreement with Messina's Incorporated to provide disaster meal service in accordance with request for proposal number 25-6873. Have a motion by Councilmember McKinney, seconded by Councilmember Brennan. Councilman Wilmot?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I guess my question on this is the amount. Do we have an amount?
We don't put a maximum amount on there just because of a disaster. We don't know, what it's gonna be. We spent last year $27,000 from that Hurricane Francine. So typically, these are treated a little differently since they're disaster related. But, we issue a notice to proceed. It's based on what type of hurricane or disaster comes. So, but last year we spent $27,000.
Do we know the annual? The regular annual? That's.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, if we have no hurricane, then it's going to be nothing. So it just depends if it's needed or not. But it's, all put in place just in case.
So this contract is just for emergence?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Do we know if these funds are recoverable from FEMA?
Yes, they are. It's all Cat B work.
All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15L is a resolution accepting as complete the agreement with Technical Services Group Incorporated dated June 24, 2024 regarding the furnish and install speaker system upgrade at the Pontchartrain Convention and Civic Center for the Department of General Services. I have a motion by Councilmember Lahat, seconded by Councilmember Wilmot. Councilman Brannigan?
Do we have a cost on this to do this project?
Yeah, the total was $151,804, which was what the original agreement was for. So this is accepting the project as complete. And these were Hurricane Ida damages, and all will be recoverable.
That's perfect.
Seeing no further discussion, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 16 is ordinances and resolutions in summary for first reading. Item 16A is an ordinance adopting the operating budget for the city of Kenner for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026. Item 16B is an ordinance authorizing a public hearing and amendments to the fiscal year 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024 annual action plans of the Home Investment Partnership Program and American Rescue Plan for the Community Development Department. Item 16C is an ordinance authorizing a public hearing and approving the proposed fiscal year 2025 annual action plan of the Community Development Block Grant Program and the Home Investment Partnership Program Grant for the Community Development Department. Item 16D is an ordinance authorizing the purchase of 3 new laser shows for the planetarium, including shipping and handling at a cost of $6,075 from J. Heck doing business as Heck Industries, a sole source provider for the General Services Department. Item 16E is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Legacy Restoration and Referral LLC to remove, furnish, and install windows and related at Heritage Hall in accordance with seal bid 25-6883 in an amount not to exceed $81,000 for the General Services Department. Item 16F is an ordinance approving an agreement with the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development, State Project Number H.016392, Federal Aid Project Number H.016392 regarding Vintage Drive westbound resurfacing improvements from Duncan Canal to Powell Boulevard, City of Kenner project. Item 16G is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from H&O Investments LLC to provide grass cutting of rough cut ditch slopes in accordance with seal bid 25-6878 and an amount not to exceed $155,000 annually for the Department of Public Works. Item 16H is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from New Light Electrical Wholesalers to supply street light poles and accessories on an as-needed basis in accordance with seal bid 25-6881 and an amount not to exceed $300,000 annually for the Public Works Department. Item 16I is an ordinance accepting The lowest responsive bid received from Otwell Services LLC to provide emergency equipment rental in accordance with seal bid 25-6886 in an amount not to exceed $175,875 annually for the Public Works Department. Item 16J is an ordinance approving amendment number 1 to the agreement with BSN Sports LLC to supply shirts, hats, visors, and screen printing in accordance with seal bid 24-6823, increasing the agreement amount to a not-to-exceed amount of $45,000 annually for the Parks and Recreation Department. Item 16K is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Atacapa Services LLC to provide sanitary sewer evaluation services on an as-needed basis in accordance with seal bid 25-6884 in an amount not to exceed $300,000 annually for the Department of Wastewater. Item 16L is an ordinance approving an agreement with Volunteers of America Southeast Louisiana for the Repair on Wheels program in an amount not to exceed $95,000 for the Department of Community Development. Item 16M is an ordinance approving the use of state contract number 44000260020 to purchase Kubota tractors and equipment in an amount not to exceed $100,000 for the General Services Department or any other department. Item 16N is an ordinance approving a recipient agreement with the City of Kenner and the Parish of Jefferson to provide funding for Arthur P. Clay Resource Center reconstruction project and an amount not to exceed $1 million. Item 16O is an ordinance to amend Section 16-23 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Kenner entitled Specific Traffic Control Signs by adding thereto truck prohibited signs on Delaware Avenue between 20th Street and 21st Street. Item 17 is reports from the council and/or special committees. Councilman Lahat.
Yes, September of last year, Kristen McKinney and I requested, we filed a resolution for the planning department to do a study about potentially putting gas stations and vape shops into potential conditional use designation moving forward. And I have Chris Zawinski here who's going to come up and give us an update as to what he's found so far since we filed that resolution.
Good morning. So back on September 5th, 2024, the City Council passed a resolution authorizing the Planning Department to conduct a study. I worked with Mr. Dufour on this. It was ready probably around, it was ready about the end of the year, but it's taken a while to get up here. Anyways, we started by mapping all of the locations of gas stations and vape shops within the city. We utilized reports from the Department of Inspection. Yeah.
Hello. I don't know why it's not connecting to that one. Give me a second.
So we started by mapping all of the locations, utilizing reports that came from the Department of Inspection and Code Enforcement. And as you can see on this graphic, we found 34 gas stations, and you can see some tables there that indicate which districts they fall in and which zoning districts they fall in. As you can see, they are primarily gas stations are primarily located along major commercial corridors, such as Airline Drive, Loyola Drive, West Esplanade Avenue, and Williams Boulevard, and they are predominantly found in the C2 General Commercial Zoning District. We also mapped the vape shops. You can see there that we found 14 in total. Tells you which districts they're in and which zoning districts they're in. They are also primarily found along the major commercial corridors, and they are also primarily in the C2 zoning district. I guess I should point out for vape shops that we only mapped locations that specialize specifically in tobacco or vape products. It's very hard to determine the full extent of vape sales within the city because they can be sold at grocery stores, convenience stores, you know, shops that fix cell phones might have a vape display, you know, on the side. So we believe that gas stations should be made conditional uses in the C2 zoning district. This would allow for greater scrutiny of proposed projects, and that would help ensure that any new gas station does not detract from the appearance of our commercial corridors. I actually have a planning case in the works. It will be heard at the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting at the end of May to get that process started. Unfortunately, from a land use perspective, there is really nothing we can do to limit vape shops. This has to do with the regulatory structure in place at higher levels of government. So unfortunately, there's really nothing we could do. And even if we did do something, like make them conditional uses, that would really increase the workload of the code enforcement people, because they would basically have to go to every retail shop in the city to check to ensure that they're not selling vape products, and that's just unreasonable. And I will add that just a couple weeks ago, I was at a birthday party for a friend, and I met one of their friends who actually works for an organization that, you know, spearheads lobbying efforts for anti-smoking and anti-vape efforts. And I talked to that person about this very situation, and they concurred that there is nothing local governments can do when it comes to vape products or tobacco products, and they actively engage with the state level government to try to get laws changed to help us, but nothing exists at this time. So that's all I have. If there are any questions?
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you for the explanation. It was great. So in terms of, you know, gas stations, we're not prohibiting gas stations, any new ones in the city of Kenner. We're just trying to make it to allow the planning department, the planning zone board, and then, of course, the council to authorize any new developments based on what you stated. So based on what you found, I'm going to support that at some point and get that moving. And I understand about the vape shop issue, about the state level legislation. They'll have to actually work on that. I really appreciate that. Thank you for doing that study. And I know you were put in a weird place with Wendell situation last year. But thank you so much, Chris, for doing this for us today, okay?
Sure. You're welcome.
What's that? Oh, yeah. Can you please email us that presentation?
Absolutely.
Because
yeah.
Dee had no idea there were 15 gas stations in her district.
Yeah, absolutely. I could do that.
You don't think it was all right? Yeah. Thank you so much.
Councilman Wilmot?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I just want to mention, too, that I understand that there's state legislation going through at this time, and from what I understand, that the taxes on vape is going to increase. So just mention it, food for thought. Thank you.
Item 18 is new business. We have none. Item 19 is unfinished business and motions to reconsider or remove from a tabled position. We have none. Item 20 is persons wishing to address the council on special subject matters.
Mr. Gregg, sir. You have the podium.
Thank you. Greg Taft, 5th District. What I want to bring up today is very simple. First, I want to thank Joanne for her presentation that she gave on what we're doing regarding the waste pumps and all that, because that was concerning. And I do want to say this. I understand it's not just this administration's problem, because this has probably been kicked down the road ever since I can remember. But still, it's just concerning that it went this far, and that, unfortunately, all I was trying to do was figure out a way where we could probably get it done faster. But citizen input on something like that probably is not that important. But I do want to bring this up because it is concerning. If you read council rules, it is the council president that is in charge of the council meetings, not the mayor and not the mayor's administration. I definitely was out of line asking questions, but the individual answering those questions should not have been called out, because me asking them, and it's the council president that should have told me to shut my mouth because it's not allowed. but it came from the administration, and I have problems with that. This council is supposed to be independent. You're supposed to think independent. You're supposed to think on behalf of the citizens. And that's my concern. And, you know, again, all I was trying to do is figure out how we, the citizens, can step it up. Because this administration got caught in the middle of it. I understand that. But we're all in here together. And that's all I was trying to do. I wasn't trying to be rude. But, you know, what I would recommend is that the council president, if someone like me gets up and does something wrong, you got two choices. Tell me to shut up or tell me to leave. Plain and simple, anybody. And that's really all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gregg. Next, Ms. Sharon. She may have left. Mr. Richard. Sir.
I'll pass, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, sir. Is there anyone else would like to speak? Seeing none? Meeting adjourned.